Salutations to everyone and welcome back to episode 3 of the Bear Pod. I'm your host, Julian Johnson, aka Jewels, and let's get right into business. I want to know, how are y'all feeling? We made it past midterms and the end of the school year is right around the corner. And seniors planning to take their grad pics are ready to leave. At least that's the general consensus. I don't blame them though. We all love our beloved HBCU, but get to that end goal of graduating and having a career. Spring break or quote unquote wellness week, which we just had, really gives us time to relax and unwind before we continue to overwork ourselves. And for me, that break was needed. I didn't go anywhere, but I definitely got to chill and relax. That was just fine with me. Played basketball, did some singing videos on my Instagram. It really was just fine for me to chill. For others, though, many people drove or most likely flew out of Baltimore to visit another city or state, whether that was back home or, the most popular destination for spring break, Miami, Florida. And our subject matter expert for this segment happens to be one of those people. She was on our last episode, too. So as I bring her on, let's start this segment that I like to call Spring Break. So, welcome, Kenya. And I forget, I started this last episode. I have a question. What was your favorite cartoon show as a child?
My favorite cartoon show as a child was Chowder. Chowder was actually very funny.
When I think of Chowder, I still think of Flapjack.
That's another one that was a good one. Ooh, and you know what else was a good one? The Imaginary Friends.
Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends. Yes. I love that. But let's get into our subject. Spring break.
Spring break.
Again, you went to Miami. Like, what did you do?
Well, technically, I didn't just go to Miami.
Oh, my bad.
I went on a cruise, right?
Ooh.
It was a 5-day cruise. Technically 4, because the 5th day we docked back in Miami. But it was a 5-day cruise to the Bahamas. And it was just a great experience. It was my first cruise. So me and my best friend, we flew from Baltimore to Miami to get to the port. And once we got on the cruise, it really wasn't a tough process, and it was my first time being on a cruise and during a pandemic, so I felt like that was going to be a lot of work, but it wasn't. It actually was really smooth. We had to have our vaccine card and our birth certificate because we don't have passport, and a negative COVID test 2 days before the boat shipped off. So it was a really good experience. The food on a boat was okay, but
giving meh.
It was like a good 8.5 out of 10. It wasn't.
That's not bad at all. That's 85%.
It could have been a 10.
Oh, my bad.
For the money that we spent on spring break, it should have been a 10. There were parties on the boat. The first place that we docked at was the Bahamas, Nassau. And then after the Bahamas, we sailed for a day. And then after that, we went to the Royal Caribbean private island that they have with a water park on it. It's called Coco Cay. So that whole experience was just great. It was other college students on there, met new people, and it just was a good experience.
It was a vibe.
Yeah, but there's more. So that Friday, when we got back, we stayed in Miami for an extra 4 days. So as I mentioned last show, I'm from Miami, so we stayed with my family. We went on a speedboat. We went to different restaurants that we had down there. We went on South Beach, and South Beach wasn't my vibe. It was too much chaos, too much things going on that I didn't want to be a part of, so we did not stay on South Beach very long at all.
No, that's fire. So then my question is, how important was it for you guys to really just unwind and break the bank a bit to do this type of stuff? Because I know it's not inexpensive in the slightest.
It was very expensive, but I feel like it was more of the experience that mattered. Me and my best friend worked very hard to make sure that trip happened, working hours trying to get schoolwork done, all that stuff. And once the trip finally came, being quite honest, we logged out of our emails, put Canvas on Do Not Disturb, because not only was that spring break, it was a wellness week. Yes, wellness week. An opportunity for everybody to be able to take a mental break. Now, when I came back, I did regret putting my email on Do Not Disturb, but that peace and having to not worry about anything school related, to escape from life a little bit, it just was a good experience.
Yeah, definitely. Even for me, everybody knows at this point, I'm a busy guy. I do a lot of different things, and I'm still working on a lot of things. But for what I do, I'm busy, and I can speak to that for a lot of different people. And for me, like, I literally wouldn't get out the bed. Like, I wake up at like 8 or 9, so because like my brain was still on that go mentality, but I wouldn't get out the bed till 12. So it's like, it's the little things, like you find a break in whatever that you are able to do. I could have broke the bank a little more and, you know, worked a little more to go on a trip, but like for me, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just chill. And then I do DoorDash and stuff, so I DoorDash. But again, I did something that I love to do. I've made 6 singing videos in a row for me. I'm trying to further my entertainment career and stuff. Like, I do podcasts, but I also sing. I'm a musician. It's very important for us to unwind. You have to, you know, put your phone on Do Not Disturb, because, like, even though I ain't gonna lie, it's been an adjustment. It's definitely been an adjustment since last week to get back into everything that I need to do, especially the crazy schedule that I run. And I was like, golly. Like, were you like that too? You was like, how do I do this schedule?
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yes. Very much so was like that. I did not understand. I was so tired. And when you're on vacation, you don't get sleep. It's go, go, go. Yes, it's a break away from, like, your regular life, but that vacation life, you literally do not get any sleep. Last week, I was running off a good, I'm going to say max 5 hours of sleep, and that is not normal. To continue to do that with no nap. Like, usually I like to take me a good nap, you know, or if I'm, like, fully rested, I just get the day going and go to sleep a little early. But I had no time to do any of that. It was just a lot, so.
You don't regret it.
I don't regret it at all. And I would do it again. I would do it again. I'm trying to do it again this summer. There's so much life out here to live. And as college students, we get wrapped up in trying to make money to get by, trying to get the grades to graduate. Like, just live life.
Just live life.
And that's really what I got from that trip. Just live life and continue to keep going.
Amen to that. And, you guys, first of all, thank you, Kenya. You know, we got an insight into a vacation.
Yes.
You know, I want our listeners to make sure y'all let us know where y'all went for spring break. What was the vibe like, and where would you like to travel next? Hit us up at Bear TV MSU on IG and MSU_BearTV on Twitter. And my Twitter is at Deacon Juelz. That's Juelz, and my IG is at JUELZ_IS.
My Instagram is Kenya, KENYAA.E. If y'all want to tune into my blog that I'm dropping very, very soon, The Underestimated, stay on the lookout. I'll drop it on my Instagram.
All right, y'all. Thank you for listening to this segment. Basketball. Such a lovely sport. Fast-paced, entertaining, and people of all shapes, sizes, and genders can play the game. Men usually dominate the sport with the NBA, NCAA, and men's basketball and high school hoops with rim-rattling highlights, ankle-breaking crossovers, and more athletic plays. But as the game progresses, women have also proven to be big-time hoopers as well on all levels. And if we're being honest, they've been hooping for a while now. Women are good on basketball on all levels. They can hit you with the tween hezzy cross, lay, and, drop some dimes. And there's a good amount of women who can even dunk the ball with ease. Again, that's actually been happening for a good amount of time also. Some of them aren't even that tall now. The game is evolving, and so are the people who play it, regardless of gender. Here at Morgan, the women's basketball team finished the season 18-8 on the season and 11-4 in the MEAC. Going into the MEAC tournament, which I also reported on a few weeks ago in Norfolk, Virginia, they were in a 3-way tie for first place for the regular season championship with Howard and Norfolk State University. Before they lost to Norfolk in an unfathomable buzzer-beating game winner from Camille Downs, they were on a 5-game winning streak to end the season. Needless to say, they were good. They played hard, led the MEAC in total steals per game, and were actually fun to watch. So why don't they get as much attention as the men's team, or really just other teams in general? So with that being said, let's bring on Brehonna, our subject matter expert for this segment I like to call our Spotlight series, which today, of course, focuses on Morgan's women's basketball team. What's up, Brehonna?
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good.
What was your favorite cartoon show as a child?
Probably the Boondocks.
I had to storm at the better refuse. I had the bitches with it. I love that.
It was funny and it was relatable, I guess. Just seeing little kids do stuff in the neighborhood, playing with each other.
And it was black people.
Yeah,
it was. That's what it was. It was relatable.
Yeah.
It was very relatable. But thank you. All right. That's probably my favorite answer so far. Just to get started with this.
So basketball, right? I personally love basketball. Like, I'm retired now, but I used to play back in the day. Anyways, like Brittany Griner, for example, she was like, you know, highlighted in media because she's stuck in Russia right now facing charges for some drug stuff. But like, we were talking about it. She plays in the WNBA, and I'm sure if it were somebody who played in the NBA, we'd still be talking about it. But nobody's really talking about it now. So as far as women and, like, you know, getting that recognition when it comes to basketball, they aren't the same playing field as men. And at Morgan, I spoke with one of the players on the team, Kalia Hines, and a cheerleader, as well as alumni, about the recent game that they had with Norfolk State. And that game, from what I heard from a player, she said that it brought a lot of attention to the women's team. Unfortunately, you know, having the whole little altercation at the game, that's the way that they got more attention. But she was just, you know, hopeful that the fact that they did get that recognition afterwards, the next players on the team to come, they are able to really experience more of a HBCU basketball experience, like having people come out to the games. Somebody also told me that the men, like, they would come to the women's games, but they'd only come at the end because they knew the men were going to, you know, be playing next. From what I understand, the women here at Morgan are dope. Like, they're not a bad team. They just don't get the attention.
No, they're a really good team. And, you know, back to that, the Norfolk game happened back in February, late February. And basically, you know, a fight ended up happening where somebody got shoved and somebody got shoved back, and it led to an altercation. And mind you, it's like 6 minutes left in the game. And, you know, I even heard about that. And granted, I haven't been paying attention to sports as much on campus because I've been in my own little world doing a whole bunch of other things. But, I mean, even I heard about it, you know, and it made, like, some news stuff. And, like, it was just like, dang, well, why can't I hear about them playing good? I didn't even know they had a good record at the time. I'm like, they was playing good. They was playing better than the guys. And, you know, the guys ended up ending the season on a 5-game win streak as well, and they also lost to Norfolk in the second round of the playoffs and everything. But, you know, like, the women, I mean, they were just, again, I read you guys the stats. The women are pretty good. Again, we're going to listen to these interviews real quick. Like you said, you know, hear everybody's thoughts on this.
So due to us winning during the last 6 seconds of the game, I guess the girls got super aggressive just out of anger. Because the fight didn't really escalate to something extremely violent. The remainder of the game, like, half of the team, like, sat out, even though it was only 6 seconds left in the game anyway, so it really was no point to penalize them.
Well, I graduated 2019, so I remember I'd be hearing games. I'm like, they had a game yesterday? I don't remember there being a lot of promotion to go see, like, any hype for it. So, like, there wouldn't be anybody there unless you probably work sports med or you have friends on the team.
That was the interviews and everything. And as you guys said, like, one of the dudes, he didn't even know back when he was here, the grad, when you talked to him, Bree, he didn't even know. Like, he didn't even know about the games until, like, last second. No promotion. Like, what the heck?
And unless you were, like, there for, like, you know, helping out the team or something, you really weren't going to the game. That's sad to say, but I think hopefully, like, from this, like I said, it's unfortunate that a fight had to break out for them to get recognition, but the women are underrated, and they deserve to, you know, have more attention on their games and their playing.
Definitely so. You know, when the season comes around, everybody make sure y'all show up to the games. Granted, I be busy. I don't go to nobody games like that. But I might be doing reporting and stuff on it. So, you know, I think I might have to go check out the games and stuff like that. Because, again, when I saw the girls play in the Norfolk, the second round semifinal, as well when I was just there reporting on it in Norfolk, Virginia, those games were pretty fun to watch. They play hard, and they do what they got to do, and it was fun. And, you know, if you really just take a second and don't look at them as just, like, women, like, but look at them as basketball players, then it might change your perspective. Tell us what you guys think, of course, on MSU_Bear TV on Twitter, or at me at Deacon Jewels on Twitter as well. And, you know, have y'all been to the games? If not, why? Does the team deserve more love? Like, let us know all that stuff on all of our socials and everything. Do you have any socials you want to plug, Bree?
Just Instagram. It's Brehonna.b, BREHONNA.b.
But, yeah. Once again, we're back to food. In the first episode, I talked about making sure y'all ate in the mornings to have a good start to your day. But now I want to stress to y'all to eat a lot throughout the day as, a whole. I got friends who literally don't eat an actual meal until like 9 p.m. Most of them being student leaders, of course, which I am too. Not gonna lie though, I always be telling them to eat, but if I don't eat breakfast, I don't eat a meal until about 4 or 5 p.m. myself. Like, I just have such a tight schedule. But like I tell my friends, personal health always comes first, and I can't be a hypocrite, right? Now, I understand that some people have money or resource problems, but overall, we all deserve to and should eat regardless of our situation, and someone should be able to help you with that, and if not, then, they should be, and that needs to be fixed. So without further ado, let's bring on our subject matter expert for this segment that I like to call, You Got Food? That's what, like a question mark at the end? Okay, whatever. And also, welcome, Jordan.
Hello. Hi.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing splendid.
Doing splendid. And Jordan's actually a senior, so,
Graduating senior.
Yeah, he got his cap and gown today.
Yeah, so excited.
But before we get into the segment a little bit, what was your favorite cartoon show growing up? I've been asking everybody.
I think my favorite cartoon show would have to be Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That's funny. I have it on right now.
Oh wow, that's
I have the
really
hoodie
funny. Wow, that's funny.
Yeah, I have the hoodie on, and I was like, I'm wearing my chill fit today, and I felt like Avatar was just the right thing to do along with the baggy.
What was your favorite character?
Maybe my boy Sokka, for real.
Mine would have to be Uncle Iroh.
The OG. I just saw a post about that the other day. It was like characters that you just can't hate, and he was on there.
Yeah, you can't hate him.
You can't hate him, bro.
You can't.
I think the only thing you can maybe be questionable about is maybe like his past.
Yeah.
But he wasn't that person in the show, so it really don't matter.
He grew from it, so he became a different person. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But talk about what you did recently about this eating food stuff.
So I went around to talk to people and ask them basically, do they have like a set schedule when they eat, or like also like do they think that breakfast is a necessity? And so yeah, we have different opinions on it. So
all right, well let's take
interesting opinions.
Well, let's take a listen then.
Hi everyone, my name is Amir Adams. I'm a junior SWAN major.
Okay, so when do you eat? Like, do you have a set schedule, or do you eat any time?
I definitely don't have a set schedule, but I try to make sure I eat before I go out of the house. Or if I know I'm going somewhere and like gonna be there for a while, I always try to eat before that.
My name's Daniel Aribi. I'm a senior and the SWAN major.
Okay, so when do you eat? Do you usually have a set schedule, or do you just eat whenever?
I try to stay on the schedule of like eating any time before like 12. Try not to like push breakfast all the way away, but I usually eat when I can.
So do you think that breakfast is a necessity?
Honestly, for me, yeah. Like if I don't eat anything, I won't make it throughout the day like fine. I'll be grumpy throughout the entire day. So breakfast and dinner, like if I skip lunch, I just need breakfast and dinner.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yep.
I'm Miles Jemison, a sophomore student at the Earl G. Graves School of Business and Management, and I'm doing this interview.
And so, when do you eat? Like, do you have a set schedule, or do you just eat whenever?
When I eat, it's like super sporadic. I kind of just eat when I'm hungry, and I'm not like hungry very often. So like, I'll maybe just eat like a bag of chips and be cool, and then like other days I'll eat like.
And so
meals.
that bag of chips will get you through the day.
Pretty much, yeah.
And do you think that breakfast is a necessity for you to get through the day, or do you just think that you could just skip it and you'll be fine?
Personally, I don't think breakfast is a necessity. I think breakfast food is mostly loaded down with like sugar and like carbs anyway, so it's not that healthy to begin with. But I usually don't eat breakfast, and like I do fine in school, I still wake up at the same time every day. So I don't think it's a necessity. But if you do eat breakfast every day and that's part of your schedule, I'm not going to tell you not to. Like, do what you do.
Okay, well, thank you.
No problem.
Wow. Did he really just say that he only needs like a bag of chips? Like, did he really say that?
Yeah.
Just for the whole day?
Yeah, I was surprised by his answer, but Everybody has their own opinions.
Did you guys say anything about that, like, after you finished the interview?
No, actually, surprisingly not. I just went about my day.
You know what? I can respect that. But me, I would have did it on the interview. I would have been like, are you kidding, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like a bag of chips. It's not enough in there, and even in the bag.
It's a lot of air. So yeah. My question is for you then, like, how many times do you eat a day?
How many times do I eat a day? I try to make it 3 times a day. The normal, what everybody usually does 3 times a day. But
I was gonna say,
usually, like, depending on what I have for lunch, if it gets me through like all the way to the evening, then I don't. I eat like a little snack at the evening before I go to bed. So yeah, about like 2.5.
And how often do you actually meet that goal though? Because we can strive for something, but that don't mean we doing it.
Like a week.
So you said 1 time out the week you get it?
Probably like 2 times out of the week. Because usually with now, like during the semester, I'm pretty busy. So
amen to that.
So I always make sure to eat breakfast because if I don't have anything in my stomach in the morning, I am very cranky.
So what's the go-to for the breakfast then? Because some people like quick stuff, some people like the full meal.
For me, since I'm a commuter student, I have to do quick meals. So the quick meal for me is literally either eggs or a bagel or cream cheese.
Okay. I can't forget the cream cheese.
Yeah, can't forget the cream cheese. Or sometimes if I don't have cream cheese, I use jelly.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yes. Strawberry jelly, to be specific.
Oh, that's okay. I just got it. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like grape jelly. Really.
I don't eat jelly at all. But actually, funny thing is, something I started doing, I think about a week or 2 ago, is I started like getting a bag, like back in like high school or like elementary and middle school, you would like get a bag of like snacks and like make peanut butter sandwich or peanut butter jelly sandwich. Me, I don't eat peanut butter. I don't eat jelly, so I eat peanut butter sandwiches. Yes, I got a bev with me. All right, for the people asking.
I've had a peanut butter jelly. I had a peanut butter sandwich before. Last time I've had it was like I was in high school. That was the last time I had it. Because I remember my friend in the neighborhood at the time. She had asked me, it's like, hey, do you want to like make some peanut butter sandwiches? I'm like, huh? She's like, peanut butter sandwiches. I'm like, sure, I guess.
It's good though.
I mean, food is food. I mean,
oh wow, okay.
For me, it's like what my parents would attest to. It's like I'll eat anything.
Oh, okay. You one of them. That's how my little brother is. He'll be like, he'll just eat anything. He's like, what's that? Ever since he was a little kid, he's like, what's that? And then just stealing my mom and dad's food. Got to give him little portions and stuff.
Yeah, surprisingly, I have a fast metabolism?
Yeah, I have a very fast metabolism.
Yeah, I burn a lot. So.
Yeah, but I definitely feel that. But again, I just I got applesauce in me, a bar or like Pop-Tart. Always got fruit snacks. Ask my friends. I like out of nowhere, I'll just grab out a bag of fruit snacks, pop it up.
Yeah, that was me in high school. I always had snacks with me.
Always,
in the first period.
Always, it's a necessity, especially when you move around a lot.
The school breakfast was not great at all. Not at all. They used to serve pizza in the morning. That's the one I didn't understand. Like
pizza in the morning?
Pizza and cold pizza at that. Like.
All right, well, that'll conclude this segment. Cold pizza in the morning is crazy.
It's ridiculous.
So how many times a day do you guys eat? What are some of the reasons why you don't eat enough for the day? Do you have any tips on how to plan better to eat during the day? I'm asking you guys this, our listeners. So let us know your thoughts at MSU_BearTV on Twitter or at me at Deacon Jewels on Twitter as well. Do you have any socials that you want to plug, Jordan?
No. I mean, you can follow me on Instagram at JODXNN. It is spelled my name, but I spelled it differently because a lot of people was like, how do you pronounce that? It's literally just my name. It does put like an X in it.
So how do you spell your name?
My name is spelled JORDAN. Okay. So like I got rid of the A, just put an X in it, and then like I put 2 N's.
Fire.
So yeah,
Simplicity is where it is.
I'm willing to hear people's opinions on this.
Yeah,
I'm like when they eat.
Yeah, definitely, because I feel like this can get a little funny. But again, thank y'all for listening to this segment. Thank you, Jordan, for talking on this segment, doing your thing.
You're welcome.
And yeah. This is the 4th and last segment of our, 3rd episode, which is kind of crazy. We're 3 episodes in. It's insane. I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off. Y'all know what happened at the Oscars, but for those of you who don't, basically Chris Rock said a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's hair.
Pretty funny
For those of you who don't know, she has alopecia, meaning that she has hair loss and she can't really control it. He said the joke. Jada gave that look. Will was kind of laughing, but he was also laughing at another joke that just happened before, so we don't know, whatever. And then basically next thing you know, he was like, oh, Will's coming up to him. He's walking up, and then he slaps Chris Rock in front of everybody. And then has the explicits and be like, keep you and my wife's name out your bleeping mouth and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But for those of you who know about that, I'm pretty sure the only thing that you heard about was the fact that he slapped him.
Mm-hmm.
But before we really get into the discussion, did you guys know these things? Did you know that Ariana DeBose, sorry if I mispronounced the name, was the first ever queer black woman to win an Oscar? That happened on Sunday. Did you know that Troy Kotzer, first ever deaf person to win an Oscar? That happened on Sunday as well. Did you know Samuel L. Jackson, who is clearly a world-renowned actor, he won his first ever Oscar. And him and Denzel had this beautiful picture, please y'all should search it, of them jumping in excitement and being super happy for each other.
That one surprised me right there.
Yeah. And then on top of that, Questlove won an Oscar for his documentary Summer of Soul.
Mm-hmm.
All these things happened, but the main thing y'all heard about was a slap. There was one thing I remember on class on, I think it was Monday, the slap video had like 3.7 million views, but it was like, Will Smith won an Oscar too for Best Actor, and that was his first time also winning an Oscar for Best Actor, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And it
was a movie that he had a lot to do with.
Yeah,
other than just,
King Richard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so like all these things really bring me to the point of that happened. The Oscars really did slap,
the Oscars did slap
outside from just the slap, but it slapped because it brought attention to a lot of minorities and
this was the
many
blackest
different
the
people.
Oscars has ever been.
Exactly, but I know y'all hear him talking already, but welcome back, Cole Hite. What's up, man?
What's going on, everybody?
So yeah, Cole, just talk about what happened.
Yeah, man, it's a bittersweet moment because if you're like me, you don't really watch the Oscars like that. You
had
tune
no idea
in.
it was on until it happened.
Exactly my point. But it's bitter because of that, but it's also sweet because, this made a lot of people tune in on what has been the blackest the Oscars have ever been.
Ever.
Now, I'm remiss to mention that it's also the blackest it's ever been because we've seen an altercation happen on stage, which
does not define us as a culture as well.
It does not, but
fighting is a part of almost every culture if you really think about it.
Indeed.
But that's another thing.
That's a whole nother thing. But it's just kind of like it got that viewership up. But to me personally, it did, like you said, it undermined a lot of black excellence that night. And that's the bitter part of it because, one, I never knew that this man Samuel was without an Oscar. Floored me just how I figured out how Leonardo didn't get one, but then won one later on. But same thing about the Summer of Soul. That documentary, I've watched a bit of it. It's actually pretty fire. There's people that are on stage and was filmed that you won't see in that type of context ever again. And Questlove won an Oscar for that. And I don't know, man. I thought it was kind of sad. It was kind of sad. Of course, I love to watch it because everybody likes a little bit of controversy here and there.
Yeah.
But this is kind of like I thought it was kind of sad. It took away from a lot of black excellence.
It not even just black excellence, but I heard a queer person, a deaf person winning an Oscar. You know how dope that is? Did you know the lady in The Eternals? She's actually deaf.
Did not know that.
Yeah, the Speed girl. She's deaf, like in real life, and she's a dope actor. She's been doing stuff for a long time. But just a lot of these things happen. But I think this kind of brings to light that some people also they reach a breaking point. And granted, I'm gonna just say my stance right here. I don't think he should have slapped him. Do I understand why he slapped him? Yes, of course. But at the same time, you can't do that. Whether you're black, white, Hispanic, or anything else in between. It's just it's something you don't do. Me personally, I don't feel like you should really have an altercation with anybody. I try to be as close to a pacifist as possible. Now, granted, not everybody's gonna get to that point, and I'm not perfect at it either. But at the end of the day, you know, there are better ways to solve things, but at the same time, like sometimes jokes, you know, they get to you after a while. Will's been going through a lot the last 2 years, and so has really just the Smith family as a
The
whole.
whole entire family. I was just now going to get into that because even on his speech where he started tearing up at his acceptance speech for his award, he told people like, man, as celebrities, you get all these jokes told about you, your family, and all that, and you expect it just to brush it off and stuff like that. And in my mind, I was thinking when he made that speech, yes, Will, yes, you are supposed to brush it off. You know why? Because you asked for fame.
That's what Kanye's talking about too. He's like, you saw about the paparazzi stuff. Like he's like, y'all, they should be getting paid partially for all this publicity that y'all are doing. Y'all making money off my name and off all this stuff and having jokes at my expense, and I have to deal with the fallout from that. Granted, I'm already famous, but another thing is money is not everything.
It is
money
not
is
everything.
a social construct. There are different. We used to just trade stuff for like when it comes to the money and just currency and stuff. Now it's a tangible thing. But at the end of the day, money solves your materialistic things, but that doesn't mean it solves your spiritual life, your mental life, and like that stuff as a whole, emotionally too.
Yeah, and when you say that, it does remind me of the fact of money does not afford you a lot of the things that, you know, allows for you to be whole as a human. But also, since that you are in this position, right? People like the Kanyes and the Will Smiths, for him to not want Chris Rock to speak about Jada, that was the worst way about going about it. Because now everyone's talking about Jada. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Every single comedian, I don't know if you're familiar with Andrew Schultz. Andrew Schultz ripped Will Smith and Jada on his podcast. It was crazy. So this was like the worst thing ever. So my thing is, I get that he was frustrated and fed up, but when you in those type of positions, man, you playing chess and not checkers.
Yeah, definitely I agree with that. I will admit, like, I laughed at a lot of jokes, bro. It's not like I tried to, but it's just like,
I did.
It was just
proudly.
It's crazy. Like, it was just crazy at how much different things, and there are people who are either for it or against it, or just people are kind of just in between. Again, I understand it, but a lot of these jokes are crazy. Like, Twitter exploded. Like, I'm scrolling Twitter for like literally like an hour or two just looking at all the stuff, and people are ruthless, and they don't deserve, like, I mean, I ain't gonna say people don't deserve a platform, but at the same time, it's like, yo, y'all are wilding, and all these different things happen because of one thing right there. And
that's way to remix God.
Dude, I've seen the people already getting tattoos of it, bro, and it was animated in less than like an hour, dude, and it's just like, yo,
don't sleep.
But you know, but really just to close on this, like, this stuff happens, but like it's crazy. I mean, it doesn't happen. This stuff doesn't happen. But it's just crazy to think that, you know, that the biggest highlight of the Oscars, and the reason why a lot of people watch it, is because a black man slapped another black man. Ain't that crazy?
Black violence brings the viewership every time. They knew this. The writer wrote that joke for Chris Rock. They sat Will in the front seat. They knew what they was doing.
All right, we're not gonna even go into that. But I want you guys to please, you know, let us know. Do you think that the slap was warranted? Do you feel as though Will Smith could have done something else? Were you watching the Oscars before the slap happened? Probably not. I will not judge, but I'm just making the assumption. And but yeah, just let us know all those different thoughts and everything that you knew. I mean, did you know Samuel Jackson won his first Oscar? Let us know all that stuff at MSU_BearTV on Twitter, or at me on Twitter, at Deacon Jewels on Twitter as well. Do you have any social you want to plug?
Nah, man, we fixing that still. I gotta get that Instagram back. I gotta get that Instagram up, man. Listen, right. I'm living in the dark ages right now, but I'm about to get back.
I'm dead. But, all right, and we appreciate y'all. And until next time. Yeah,
yes, sir. Catch y'all later.
So thanks for listening to this episode of Bear Pod. We really appreciate every single one of y'all listening. And, you know, until next time, you know, we had a lot of stuff that we talked about this episode, from basketball to food and Will and Smith and Chris Rock and all that type of stuff. But, you know, we made it to the end. And shout out to the people who stayed through all the way to the end, because, you know, y'all the real MVP. You're the real MVP. But no, I'm just joking around. But seriously, you know, thank y'all, and until next time. And yeah.